Hello, this is Dan Show on the Tube, and we're going to do the Smackdown review for December 13th, 2024. Let's get to it. The show started off with Jimmy Uso coming out. He kept calling himself Big Jim. It seemed forced and not really good. Talking about that he may win the Royal Rumble, or he may win the world title, or he may win the U.S. title. And at the end of the promo, Drew McIntyre hit a Claymore kick on Jimmy to knock him out. Next up, Tiffany was working out in the back, warming up, and Candice LeRae and Nia Jax come out and talk to her about the women's title tournament and that they felt like she could win. Next up, Nick Aldis was seen backstage yelling at Drew McIntyre about the attack on Jimmy. He told Drew to go into his office, and he spoke to Naomi and Bianca Belair. Bianca asked about the attack on Jade, and Nick Aldis said that the investigation was still ongoing, and there was no solid lead as to who attacked Jade, but they were going to have to strip Jade and Bianca of the women's tag team titles, and Bianca asked with Naomi that Naomi defend the titles with Bianca, and Nick Aldis said he would run up the flagpole, but then he also said that if they were going to be fighting champions and defend the belts next week, he would let it go. So Naomi and Bianca Belair are now the women's tag team champions going forward. I myself think this is pretty crummy. I got a feeling Naomi's going to be the person that came out to attack Jade to get the titles without having to actually win them. Next up was Michin versus Tiffany Stratton for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Tiffany Stratton lost to Michin. Michin won clean with the defeat. I was glad to see this. I really kind of hope they put the belt on Michin. I think she deserves it. She's been with the company long enough, and she's really much better than she ever gets credit for. Next up, DIY cut a promo on the Motor City Machine Guns. They showed the video of DIY winning the belts when Johnny Gargano low blowed Alex Shelley. Next up, they showed a video of the new Bloodline taking out the roster. The Bloodline's been decimating everybody lately, and I think that's a good way to build towards the hopefully soon final confrontation with Roman and Solo. Next up, Roman done a video where him and Paul Heyman were somewhere, and Roman said that he wants to challenge Solo Sikoa to tribal combat for the Umafawa at the debut of Netflix in a couple of weeks. Hopefully they're going to book that match, and I'm hoping that that's the beginning of the end of the story. Then Legado del Fantasma was backstage arguing with Nick Aldis, and they said they may want to see what Adam Pearce has to offer them and move to Raw. If they do move back to Raw, I think it's going to be just to feud with the LWO again. I think they're really throwaway characters at this point. So whatever they do with them, I don't think they're really going to get over. After they were done talking to Adam Pearce, Carmelo Hayes started talking to him. And Carmelo Hayes said he was going to make light work of his mystery opponent. And Adam Pearce didn't seem too convinced, but wished him luck anyway. Carmelo came out to the ring, and then they found out his opponent was Braun Strowman, who pretty well destroyed Carmelo in quick time with a running power slam after catching Carmelo coming off the top ropes. Next up was LA Knight cutting a promo on Solo Sikoa. That's going to be the main event for this show, so they were promoting that match. I think LA Knight has some of the best mic skills on the entire roster. I think his in-ring work is top-notch. I think he is a future world champion, and if he never does win the world championship, I'm going to assume it was because he just got there too late, age-wise. Next was Solo Sikoa versus LA Knight. LA Knight won by DQ after Jacob Fatu come over and choked him near the ropes. Then the whole bloodline attacked LA Knight. After that, Andrade and Apollo Crews ran into the ring to try to make the save, but Solo laid out all three of them with Samoan spikes. Next up, Pretty Deadly was shown backstage speaking to Braun Strowman and asking him to be their monster in Pretty Deadly the musical. And he refused. Pretty Deadly is one of the worst acts in the company. I really do not like those guys. I think they really need a reworking of the character. Then Grayson Waller and Austin Theory had asked Braun to be the guest on the Grayson Waller Effect next week, and Braun Strowman said he'd see him there. Next up is Chelsea Green versus Bayley for the other semifinal in the women's United States title tournament, and Chelsea Green won with an unprettier. She beat her clean, which was a big surprise. So the final for the tournament is Chelsea Green versus Meet Chin, and that'll be tomorrow night on Saturday night's main event. I really want Meet Chin to win that match, but I believe Chelsea Green probably will. Her being able to run around entitled as her character already acts with a title belt would just really add to her heat factor, and I think it would help her. Next up, the Motor City Machine Guns cut a promo on DIY, and next week it's going to be Johnny Gargano versus Alex Shelley. Next up, a video was shown of Shinsuke Nakamura. I love the new Samurai Warrior character. I really want to see him go far with it. He's the best striker in the company, and to me, one of the most underutilized talents. Next up, Nia Jax and Candice LeRae found Tiffany backstage and more or less said she wasn't worthy of being a singles champion, and that Candice LeRae had gotten her and Nia a women's tag team title match against Bianca and Naomi next week on Smackdown. And they walked away to discuss the strategy for that match, and Candice looked at Tiffany and said, well, maybe singles wrestling isn't your speed. I'm hoping that doesn't mean that she's going to come over and challenge Candice on WWE Speed on X, because I think that's a useless spot for Tiffany. Also, Nia seems like she's starting to get frustrated with Candice and didn't seem too excited about the tag title match. Finally, the show ended with an interview. Michael Cole brought out Cody Rhodes, and Cody made his entrance, and then they called for Kevin Owens to come out. They called Kevin's name 3 or 4 times, and he never come out. So Cody went on and said, well, we're going to be professional and have the interview anyway. And Michael Cole started asking Cody questions, and all of a sudden on the Titantron, Kevin Owens was out in his car, and he started talking down on Cody. And Cody said, well, I can sit here and listen to his barbs and jabs all night, or I can go do something about it. So Cody went out to find Kevin Owens, and when Cody got backstage, Kevin jumped him from behind. They fought back to the ring, beating up each other and security. And when they finally got everybody separated, they had Cody held down, and Kevin Owens took the belt and smacked Cody with the belt and knocked him out to end the show. That was the review for SmackDown. Please like, share, and subscribe the video. Also, in the comment section below, we're doing a poll for our watch along on Monday night. It's either going to be the 1992 Royal Rumble, which was for the WWF title after a controversial ending to a match with Undertaker and Hulk Hogan, or it will be the WrestleMania 3 main event, which was Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant for the WWF title, or it will be Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart from WrestleMania 12 in the 1-hour Iron Man match. Let me know what you'd like to see in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video and have a good day.